Pauwi ka na ba ng Pilipinas at nais mong malaman aking kabayan at mga balikbayan ano ba ang latest travel protocol pauwi ng Pilipinas? Ayan po ang ating tatalakayin sa videong ito. Hi mga kabayan at balikbayan, welcome to Jamey Iris TALK TV kung saan pag-uusapan po natin ngayon ano ba ang latest arrival protocols dito sa Pilipinas at ano ang kailangan nyong ihanda pre-departure bago po kayo umuwi sa Pilipinas. Alamin po natin sa videong ito unang-una. Ano po bang kinakailangan nyo pre-departure? Pangalawa, kapag upon arrival in the Philippines, what can you expect? At syempre, after the airport, pauwi na sa bahay, ano naman po ang kinakailangan nyong gawin? So yan po ang ating tatalakayin sa videong ito. But before that, let me just simply welcome lahat ng ating mga subscriber. Hello po sa inyong lahat. Kamusta na po? At nagagalak ako na makasama kayo sa ating channel, and if this is your first time to join us in this channel, welcome, and inimbitahan ko na rin po kayo na i-click nyo na po yung subscribe button at ang notification bell nang sa gayon ay palagi po natin ma-update kayo ng mga latest travel videos, current events, and other inspiring videos that we simply have for you. Simulan na po natin mga kabayan. Kung ikaw ay pauwi na ng Pilipinas, alamin po natin ano ba ang mga kinakailangan pre-departure. Sige po. Para po sa mga makikinig sa unang part po ng ating discussion, we will simply be sharing in summary. Ano po ba yung mga kinakailangan ninyo? And then, second part, isa-isahin po natin i-discuss ano po ba ang kailangan per requirement na i-share ko po sa inyo. Let's take a look. So for the updated entry requirements flying to the Philippines, here are the following. Pre-departure. Para sa mga Filipino passport holders po muna tayo. So kung ikaw ay Filipino passport holders at ikaw ay walang booster, ano ang mga kailangan mong gawin? Pre-departure. Unang-una, kinakailangan at required ka magpa-COVID-19 testing. So, meron tayong dalawang klase. Mamaya, i-discuss ko yan. So, maaari kang pumili which one ang gusto mong kunin bago ka umuwi ng Pilipinas. Pangalawa, vaccination certificate. Since fully vaccinated ka, you need to upload this sa pangatlo, One Health Pass. This is the online registration form na lahat ng mga manlalakbay or travelers flying to the Philippines ay kinakailangan magkumpleto po nito. Travel insurance bilang Filipino, you don't actually need this anymore. Return ticket, hindi ka rin required. At ang pasaporte mo, kailangan valid siya pero hindi naman required na 6 months pataas. Kung sakasakali ang pasaporte mo ay 5 months valid, makakauwi ka pa rin naman. Pero make sure bago ka umalis ng Pilipinas, yan ay naparenew mo na dahil kapag paalis naman, papunta sa ibang bansa from the Philippines, kinakailangan 6 months pataas kung ikaw ay isang Filipino. Yun ay kung alis ng Pilipinas. Pero pabalik, okay lang. Kahit mababa siya sa 6 months. So that's it for fully vaccinated without any booster. Now, kung ikaw naman ay Filipino, fully vaccinated at meron ka ng booster dose, hindi mo na kinakailangan. Exempted ka na mula sa COVID-19 testing. Yes, you heard me right. At kinakailangan mo lang i-present sa One Health Pass, dun sa pangatlong requirement natin, ang vaccination certificate mo, yung primary at ang booster. At syempre, yung pangatlong requirement, kinakailangan mo mag-complete ng One Health Pass. And then after that, travel insurance hindi required, return ticket hindi required, at ang pasaporte basta valid, hindi naman kinakailangan 6 months and above kasi Filipino passport holder ka. At yan po ang requirements natin para sa mga Filipino passport holders fully vaccinated with or without booster. At mamaya idedetalye po natin isa-isa itong mga requirements. Oh, by the way, before that, let me just share to you. Para sa fully vaccinated, masasabi natin na ikaw ay fully vaccinated kung ikaw ay may primary vaccination. Ang primary vaccination, maaring 2 doses ito. Kung hindi ka J&J, ang J&J or from Johnson ito, 1 At one vaccination lang or injection, kumpleto na. Pero like Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Sinopharm, Sinovac, so yan ay kinakailangan ng 2 doses. So kapag meron ka na yan, ibig sabihin may primary vaccination ka at considered ka na fully vaccinated pero without any booster pa. Now, para ma-consider ka na may booster, so kinakailangan mo na magkaroon kung meron ka ng ikatlong dose or ikapat-apat na dose, then automatically it means you already have a booster. Yan. Pero alamin po natin, marami rin po mga Pinoy ang nagtatanong, Miss Jamey, ako po ay hindi fully vaccinated. Pwede ba ako makauwi ng Pilipinas? Kabayan, pwedeng-pwede. Maari kang makauwi kahit hindi ka fully vaccinated or unvaccinated ka. Alamin natin ano bang mga requirements para sa'yo. Now, kung ikaw ay partially vaccinated or not vaccinated, ibig sabihin po, partially vaccinated, meron kang isang dose in a 2-dose series, or not vaccinated, 0 vaccination ka talaga. So, maari ka bang umuwi? Pwede naman, pero basta i-comply mo tong pre-departure requirements mo. Number 1, COVID-19 testing. Yes, kinakailangan mo magpa-COVID-19 testing, either yan, dun sa dalawang i-discuss natin mamaya. Pangalawa, vaccination certificate, hindi mo na kinakailangan mag-upload dahil hindi ka naman, kung ikaw ay hindi fully vaccinated, then hindi mo na kinakailangan mag-upload. Pero kung ikaw ay partially vaccinated, yes, make sure mag-i-upload mo kahit yung unang vaccination mo. Then pangatlo, One Health Pass, kailangan ba? Yes, kailangan ng One Health Pass, kailangan mo kompletuhin ito. Lalo na kapag na-receive mo na yung COVID-19 result mo. Ayan. And then for travel insurance, kinakailangan na ikaw ay, ayan, kung ikaw ay Philippine passport holder, hindi mo na kinakailangan ng travel insurance, hindi mo na rin kailangan ng return ticket, at hindi mo rin kailangan ng passport na 6-month pataas ang validity. Kahit 5 months, pababa, pwede yan basta valid at hindi expired, okay? So yan po ang para sa mga Filipino passport holders na partially vaccinated or not vaccinated at all. So makakauwi po kayo, mga kabayan. So, isa-isahin na po natin i-discuss ang mga requirements na ating nabanggit. Tingnan naman po natin para sa mga foreign nationals. Kung ikaw ay foreign nationals, if you are watching this at meron kang kamag-anak na foreign nationals or spouse, ganito po, tingnan po natin. And if you are a foreign national, I have an English video that I'll be preparing simply just for you. Ayan. Sige po, tingnan natin. Fully vaccinated without any booster. If you're the foreign national, then COVID-19 test is a requirement kung sakasakaling wala kang booster shot but you are fully vaccinated. And then, kung ikaw naman ay fully vaccinated with booster shot, then you don't need any COVID-19 testing. Now, for both with or without booster, fully vaccinated foreign nationals traveling to the Philippines, you both need the vaccination certificate. And number 3, you need the One Health Pass registration form. Number 4, travel insurance. You are no longer required to provide a travel insurance, but this is highly recommended by the government of the Philippines for you to have. And then return ticket. Now, for this example, I'll be pertaining to foreign nationals without any spouse na Filipino. So, for foreign travelers who will be traveling to the Philippines for tourist visa purposes or for businesses, yes, you need to have a return ticket. Okay? May exemption. We do have an exemption for that. I'll discuss it in a little while. And then for passport validity, since you're a foreign passport holder, you need to complete or you need to comply in presenting the 6-month validity or more of your passport. So, kailangan your passport is 6 months or more valid once you actually travel to the Philippines. And those are the requirements that we have for foreign nationals. Again, please watch out for my English video for the foreign national, for the arrival protocols to the Philippines. Now, again, a same standard. So when we talk about fully vaccinated, so it means that they should have at least the primary vaccination of 2 doses or 1 dose from J&J. And if they are with booster, it means that you already had your 3 doses or 4 doses of vaccination for COVID-19. Now, how about Balikbayans? For Balikbayans or former Filipinos with foreign passport only, meaning you are not a dual citizen. So what do you have to take into consideration? So again, you're considered fully vaccinated if you have 2 doses and 1 dose of J&J. And then if you have a booster, it means you already have 3 doses or 4 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. If you're fully vaccinated, okay, without any booster, so you need a COVID-19 test. And you have to present your vaccination certificate for the primary dosage or dosages and present it and upload it on the One Health Pass. So please complete also the One Health Pass. When? We'll answer that later. Travel insurance, you don't need it anymore. Return ticket, you don't need it anymore. Passport validity, because you have a foreign passport only, then it must be 6 months or above valid once you travel to the Philippines. And then if you're fully vaccinated with a booster dose, you don't need to present any COVID-19 testing upon departure flying to the Philippines. For vaccination certification, yes, you do need that. For One Health Pass, yes, you need to complete this. Travel insurance, you also do not need this, as well as return ticket, you don't need this, but you have to have a valid passport for more than 6 months upon arrival or departure flying to the Philippines. So that's it for our former Filipinos. But if you do have a Filipino passport, you have a dual citizenship, then please refer to the Philippine passport holders requirements. So now let us just take a look, mga kabayan, what are the requirements for everyone in details. So for COVID-19 testing, so what do we actually mean? Who needs it? So for Filipino passport holders, only those fully vaccinated without any boosters. And then for unvaccinated or partially vaccinated travelers, you do need to take the COVID-19 testing. Now for foreign passport holders, only fully vaccinated without a booster dose, because at this point in time, only fully vaccinated travelers with foreign passport can enter the Philippines. The unvaccinated at this point in time are not yet allowed. Now, what are the types of COVID-19 testing that you are or you may have the choice to actually have before flying to the Philippines? Now, before that, let me just share to you who are exempted. So those who are exempted are the following. For Filipino passport holders, if you are fully vaccinated with booster dose, then definitely you are exempted from presenting any COVID-19 testing. If you are traveling, any minor traveling, age 12 to 17 with their parents who have a booster dose, then therefore they will be exempted if they are fully vaccinated. Again, only 12 to 17 years old fully vaccinated traveling with parents who have booster shot are exempted from the COVID-19 pre-departure COVID testing. Now, if you have, for example, a child who will be traveling unaccompanied, meaning without any parent, different requirements will apply in terms of this 12 to 17 years old fully vaccinated. So they will have a requirement to fulfill based from the airlines requirement. Please watch my video. So again, this COVID-19 exemption for 12 to 17 years old fully vaccinated, these are only for traveling with parents with a booster. If the minor will be traveling unaccompanied, there will be a special rule for them based from the airlines. Please watch my other video so that you can know more about it and check with your airline so that at least you can be informed of what are the requirements. Now, for 12 years old below children, regardless of their vaccination status, so they must definitely follow the vaccination status of their parents, especially if they are 4 to 11 years old. For 3 years old below, I'll tell you more about that in a little while. But for the meantime, the same goes and applies with the foreign passport holders. If you are fully vaccinated and you are 18 years old above, then definitely you'll be exempted from the COVID-19 testing. Same thing that just like what I've mentioned earlier, for 12 to 17 years old, fully vaccinated, you will only be exempted from pre-departure COVID-19 testing if you will be traveling with your parents who have booster dosage. But again, if it's a foreign passport holder minor, you still have to abide by the unaccompanied minor rules and regulations of the airlines. And last but not the least, for 12 years old below, even if you're a foreign passport holder, then children will definitely have to follow the guidelines or the vaccination status of their parents, especially from 4 to 11 years old. Now, how about the 3 years old below? Let us just take a look. Now, 4 to 11 years old, just like what we've mentioned earlier, as in all international inbound travels, the testing and quarantine protocols for minors shall follow the testing and quarantine protocols of the parent or guardians traveling with them, regardless of the minor's vaccination status. Now, for children 3 years old and below, regardless of the country of origin, shall be exempt from the requirement of presenting a negative RT-PCR test or any COVID-19 testing before boarding the flight unless, the minor is symptomatic. So that's the rule if you are traveling with minors, everyone. So looking for that is clear and we can avoid any challenges po na encounter like some of the parents that we've had in the past few months po. So iba po ang rule for unaccompanied minor. Meron po siyang certain requirements that the airlines is prescribing for you to actually comply with as parents so that your children will arrive in the Philippines without the need for quarantine if they're fully vaccinated. Please comply accordingly. Now, what are the different types of COVID-19 testing? So we have two types. So we have the RT-PCR. This one, we have the RT-PCR swab test and we have the rapid antigen swab test. So please take a look at the specifications for each. So if you are a fully vaccinated traveler without any booster or unvaccinated as well as partially vaccinated, you can choose between these two. The first type is the RT-PCR test, or what we call the one that has the golden standard. Now, the negative RT-PCR test must be taken within 48 hours prior to the date and time of departure from the country of origin or first part of embarkation of a continuous travel to the Philippines, not including the layover. So hindi po bibilangin ang paglipad sa layover or sa Pilipinas. Ang binibilang lang po ay time from the time that you will be departing from your port of origin. Again, hindi po kailangan eksaktong 48 hours. Pwede pong within 48 hours bago po kayo lumipat. Now, sinabi rin po dito na ito yung magiging basihan provided that you as a traveler, you have not left the airport premises and or you have not been admitted to another country during such over. Ayan. And then, example po natin, if you'll be traveling from the Los Angeles airport, eto po, August 30, halimbawa, 4 p.m. flight, uuwi ka sa NAIA September 1. Ang dating mo sa NAIA ay September 1, 10 a.m. Kailan ka magpapa-RT-PCR test? So, bibilang lang po tayo ng 48 hours, which is equivalent to 2 days. So, it means that sa August 28, maaari na po kayo magpa-RT-PCR test. Simula po yan ng 4 p.m. onwards. Hindi po kailangan saktong 4 p.m. Pwede naman pong 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. So as long as, alam nyo, makakapagpakuha po kayo within 48 hours before the flight. Huwag pong masyadong sagad before the flight. Kailangan po kasi ng allowance ng RT-PCR test bago ma-generate ang resulta. At tandaan, kinakailangan nyo pong i-upload ito sa One Health Pass. Pangalawa, rapid antigen test. Yes, pwede rin naman po ito. Mas mabilis, mas mura, pero kailangan po i-take ito within 24 hours before your flight. pero may requirements po ha. So kinakailangan na mag-present ng rapid antigen test pero ito ay kinakailangan na ina-administer and certified by a healthcare professional in a healthcare facility, laboratory, clinic, pharmacy, or other similar establishments and must be taken within 24 hours before the date and time of your departure from the country of origin or from the origin or first port of embarkation in a continuous travel to the Philippines. Example po, tingnan natin halimbawa, you'll be flying po. Ayan. At may karagdagan po pala. Or a remotely supervised or a negative laboratory-based rapid antigen negative test result administered and certified by a healthcare professional in a healthcare facility, laboratory, clinic, pharmacy, or similar establishment. So, ito po yung mga different types po ng rapid antigen na pwede nyo pong actually ma-avail. Now, same na rin po dito sa sinabi natin, dapat within 24 hours prior to the date of your departure from the country of origin or from the first port of embarkation po ninyo, at make sure na hindi po kayo umalis from the airport premises and has not been admitted to another country during the layover. So, example po muli natin ay if ang flight ay August 30, 4 p.m. from LAX and then September 1, pauwi naman sa Pilipinas 10 a.m. Halimbawa po, kailan kayo dapat rapid antigen test? Kung August 30 ang alis po ninyo, 4 p.m. Then, minus 1 day, August 29, 4 p.m. po. Onwards, pwedeng 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Pwede na po kayo magpakuha ng rapid antigen test. Mas mabilis ang resulta at mura din po ito. Ayan. So with that mga kabayan, you can choose between the RT-PCR test or rapid antigen test. Tingnan naman po natin ang pangalawang requirement. So yung pangalawang requirement naman po natin, kinakailangan po ang sino man na uuwi sa Pilipinas ay meron po tayong tinatawag na vaccination certificate. Ito po ay maaring ang yellow booklet o yung WHO, World Health Organization International Certificate of Vaccination and Prophylaxis. Ayan po. Ayan. Or pwede rin naman po yung VaxCert-PH kung sa Pilipinas po kayo nabakunahan, or yung pangatlo, ang National or State Digital of Certificate of the Foreign Government. So wala na po tayong reciprocity na hinire-require ngayon. So accepted na po ang lahat. Basta po mga kabayan yung brand din po ng inyong vaccination ay accepted ng Pilipinas. Now, please, again, just like what we've mentioned earlier, when we talk about a full vaccination or full vaccination status, kinakailangan po nakadalawang dosage na po ito, at yung last or second dosage po kung in a 2-dose series after 14 days po ito prior to the date and time of departure. Ganun din po kung J&J yan, so kailangan more than 14 days prior to departure para makonsider na fully vaccinated, at must be included in the EUA or Emergency Use Authorization and List of Compassionate Special Permit or CSP. Now, maaari din naman ito'y kasama sa Emergency Use Listing of the WHO. Now, how about booster? May nagtatanong sa inyo, Ms. Jamey, may waiting time din ba ang booster katulad nitong primary vaccination? Wala naman. So, ibig sabihin kapag halimbawa, ngayon ang flight mo, kahapon ka nalagyan ng booster, pwede ka na bang lumipad? Pwede na. They will consider you as someone with booster. So, pero wag nyo naman isagad na masyado before your flight kasi kailangan nyo rin yung certificate para i-upload sa One Health Pass. So, as much as possible, at least a few days before your flight, pero again, no waiting time for the booster. Ayan. At para sa foreign passport holder, so similar naman po ang requirements. So kinakailangan nyo lamang po ng WHO Organization International Certificate or of Vaccination or Prophylaxis. Maaari ding VaxCert-PH or the national or state certificate po that you got from your government. And make sure that the brand is accepted in the Philippines. So those are the vaccination certificates that you have to comply with. Now, for foreign passport holders, please take note. Anyone who fails to comply with the conditions of the requisites set forth in the Section 1 and 2 above inclusive shall be denied admission into the country and shall be subject to appropriate exclusion proceedings. So it means that, again, any of the mentioned protocols that we discussed a while ago, if a foreign national does not comply, then they might be denied admission to the Philippines. Please take note, number 4, once admitted into the country, then they are no longer required to observe the facility-based quarantine, but shall self-monitor for any signs or symptoms for 7 days. Again, because all foreign passport holders are fully vaccinated upon entering in the Philippines. 4, when we talk about fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Now, for minor children below 12 years of age traveling with their fully vaccinated parents, please take note of foreign child or children below 12 years of age who are not vaccinated for any reason whatsoever and traveling with their Filipino parents shall follow the entry, testing, and quarantine protocols of their Filipino parents traveling with them. Now, a foreign child or children from ages 12 to 17 of age traveling with their Filipino parent shall follow the protocol based on their vaccination status. So whether they're vaccinated or unvaccinated, if in case of such unvaccinated minor children, either foreign or Filipino parents should accompany such child or children during their facility-based quarantine in the Philippines. So those are the requirements for foreign passport holders or children traveling with Filipino nationals. Now, how about Filipino and foreign passport holders who just fully recovered with positive RT-PCR pre-departure test results? So let's just take a look. If you are a Filipino national who have recovered from COVID-19, but when you were asked to test again for the COVID-19 testing for the 48 pre-departure RT-PCR test, may nonetheless enter the country provided you are able to present the following documents prior to departure and boarding from the country of origin of our port of embarkation and upon arrival in the Philippines. So padaliin po natin mga kabayan. Kung sakasakali po you just recently recovered from the COVID-19. So kung sakasakaling kayo po ay halimbawa fully vaccinated without any kumbaga booster dose or kaya kayo ay unvaccinated or partially vaccinated, kinakailangan nyo pa rin po magpa-COVID-19 testing bago kayo lumipad ng Pilipinas. Kahit halimbawa na-clear na kayo ng inyong doktor. Now, ang kailangan nyo lang gawin ay mag-present ng 3 dokumento kung sakasakali nung nag-test kayo, nagpositibo pa rin ang resulta. Kung negative na, wala na kayong problema. Hindi nyo na kailangan mag-present ng any other document pero just make sure the medical result na fit to fly ka ay nasa sayo. Ayan. Ngayon, kung fully recovered ka pero nung nag-test ka ulit for pre-departure, papunta sa Pilipinas, nag-positive ka, pero meron ka ng medical certificate from the doctor na negative ka na pwede ka nang lumipad. Pwede ka ba bang makauwi ng Pilipinas? Ang tanong ay, yes, pwede. Anong kailangan mo mga dokumento? 3 lang po. Una, ipakita mo yung unang resulta ng RT-PCR test taken not earlier than 10 days but not later than 30 days prior to the date and time of departure from the country of origin or port of embarkation. Ayan. So, pangalawa, kunin mo din naman yung positive RT-PCR test result nung pinaka-recent na nag-positive ka kahit may negative. Kumbaga nag-negative ka na at sinabi ng doktor mo ay clear to travel ka na. So yung dalawang yon, yung unang resulta, pangalawang resulta na parehong positibo, kailangan i-present mo yan at syempre yung medical certificate issued by an attending physician na clear to fly ka na at magaling ka na sa COVID-19. So those are what you actually have to present once you fly to the Philippines if you just recently recovered from COVID-19 at kahit magaling ka na at may certificate, sinabihan pa rin ng test na nakuha mo na ikaw ay positive para makauwi ka sa Pilipinas. Now, let us just take a look. Letter C requirement, we have what we call the One Health Pass. Sino kinakailangan magkumpleto nito? Lahat po ng mga incoming travelers to the Philippines. So, iyan po ang website po natin. Please watch my video and please just make sure that you just simply have to complete it from the official website at ma-avoid po natin yung mga scam website. Ayan, you have to definitely get a barcode. Kung kayo po ay not yet fully vaccinated, barcode po ang makukuha ninyo. At ang mga fully vaccinated na po ay makakakuha ng QR code. So, mas pinadali na po ang One Health Pass. So, that's quite great mga kabayan. So, please watch my tutorial so that you can be guided as well. Now, kailan kayo pwede mag-register para sa One Health Pass? So, kung kayo ay fully vaccinated within 3 days before the date of your flight from the point of origin, maaari na po kayo magpa-register. So, when do you have to register? So, you can register if you are fully vaccinated with booster, then within 3 days before the date of your flight from the point of origin. However, if you are fully vaccinated without any booster, please wait for the COVID-19 test result. Now, for the unvaccinated or partially vaccinated, for the updated One Health Pass, hindi na po nila hinahanap ngayon yung pinaka-resulta ng COVID-19 ninyo, pero kailangan pong dalhin nyo pa rin yan kasi pagdating nyo sa Pilipinas, hahanapin naman po yan doon sa manual validation. Kaya within 3 days before your flight, pwede na po kayo mag-register sa One Health Pass at maaari nyo i-present yung inyong barcode po kapag kayo ay umalis po mula sa port of origin po ninyo. Yan mga kabayan. Please watch my latest update so that at least you will know. And then, alamin naman po natin from One Health Pass, travel insurance, so hindi na po. So kung kayo ay foreign passport holder, hindi na po kailangan ng travel insurance. Kung kayo ay Philippine passport holders, hindi rin po kailangan ng travel insurance just like what we've mentioned earlier. Pero sa foreign passport holders, highly recommended din po na magkaroon kayo nito. For the return ticket, foreign passport holders, yes, for temporary visitors, you must have a valid ticket for return journey to the port of origin or the next port of destination, corresponding to your permitted or allowable duration of stay under a valid visa or visa-free country as the case may be. Now, there are exemptions, so let's take a look. Now, however, this will not apply to foreign spouses and or children of Filipinos and former Filipino citizens with Balikbayan privilege under RA number 9174, including their foreign spouse and or children who, number 1, are not Balikbayan in their own rights and are traveling with them to the Philippines. Again, are traveling with the Filipino national or former Filipino. Then that's the only time you will be exempted from this requirement for a return ticket. And for Philippine passport holders, you don't definitely need a return ticket. You don't need it. So that's the answer that we have for foreign passport holders and Philippine passport holders. How about passport validity? As discussed earlier, if you're a foreign national, it must be valid until it must be valid more than 6 months upon entry to the Philippines. And if you're a foreign passport, if you're a Filipino passport holder or Philippine passport holder, it must be valid. Not expired, but it can be less than 6 months upon entering in the Philippines. But make sure that you renew it before you fly back to another country. That's for the passport validity. Okay, great. So those are the pre-departure requirements that you have to prepare before you fly to the Philippines. Whew! Medyo madami mga kabayan, pero madali na lang yan. Hindi na siya katulad ng mga nakaraang buwan na napakadami. Now, let us just take a look at the airport arrival requirements. So, what can you expect once you arrive at the airport in the Philippines? Whatever airport it might be. Now, these are the 5 processes that you usually have to go through. The disembarkation, the briefing validation, going to immigration, luggage, carousel, and then of course proceeding to the customs. Now, let's take a look at one by one. Disembarkation. So, upon disembarkation from the plane, going to the briefing or validation area, then you are expected to go through the thermal scanner. So, they will take a look, of course, if you are exhibiting or showing any symptoms of one, the COVID-19. Second, a possibility is monkeypox. Because of the monkeypox, some of you might be asked to remove your jackets or anything that covers your skin dahil gusto po nilang makita meron bang allergies, meron bang rashes, meron bang lesions or sugat na maaring cause ng monkeypox. So yan po yung latest natin at masyadong meticuloso po sila sa airport. So talagang chinecheck nila kung merong symptoms whether COVID-19 or monkeypox. Pagkatapos po ninyo, maaari na po kayo proceed sa ating briefing or validation area for One Health Pass. So yan po ay i-guide kayo ng mga airport personnel po natin. Now, once you're in the briefing and validation area, ganun din po sa immigration, they will be asking for you to present your One Health Pass. Ngayon, kung ikaw ay unvaccinated, partially vaccinated, or ayan po, wala kayo talagang vaccination, then you will have to show your barcode to them and then magma-manual validation po kayo. Pero kung kayo fully vaccinated naman, QR code nang ipakita ninyo na One Health Pass at doon na po kayo sa fast lane or express lane ng One Health Pass. At syempre, pagkatapos ng briefing at validation, sa immigration na po tayo tutungo. Papakita nyo pa rin po ang One Health Pass as they will be requiring. And after that, you can proceed to the luggage area. So you can get your luggage and of course, after that, you can go through the customs. So far naman po sa mga kabayan natin, wala naman pong kahirap-hirap at challenges po silang naranasan nitong mga nakaraang linggo. Mga kabayan, kakauwi nyo lang ba? Share nyo naman ang arrival experience ninyo so that at least our kabayans and balikbayans may idea po sila kung sakaling may challenges or kung wala naman, malaman nila at mapanatag sila na sa airport na nilapagan po ninyo ay walang mga challenges. Yan po. And of course, pagkatapos po ng customs, sino ang maaari ng umuwi? Kung kayo po ay fully vaccinated at kung kayo naman ay unvaccinated, ano pong requirements sa inyo? Simulan na po muna natin sa mga unvaccinated or partially vaccinated na mga travelers. So, hindi pa po kayo pwedeng umuwi ng bahay pero maaari po kayong pumunta na sa hotel. Because if you are not vaccinated or partially vaccinated, you are required to have or undergo the hotel quarantine. So, gaano katagal ba? So, at least 6 days sa hotel or 5 nights. Then, swab testing usually sa ika-5th day yan. Kapag lumabas na ang resulta within 24 to 48 hours, maaari ka nang mag-check out kasi negative ang resulta mo. Now, and then you have to complete that a total of 14 days quarantine doon sa iyong bahay. So, ibig sabihin, kasama ng hotel quarantine combined with a home quarantine, total of 14 days yan, counting yung arrival date as day 1 mo. Please monitor for any COVID-19 symptoms and report to your LGU or your barangay health emergency response team para malaman ng LGU kung sakasakaling may naramdaman ka. Hoping wala and you are healthy so that you can enjoy your vacation with your family. So, ito po yung para sa mga unvaccinated or partially vaccinated. Paano naman yung mga fully vaccinated with and without booster? So, upon arrival in the Philippines for fully vaccinated with or without any booster, please remember the following. Now, if you're fully vaccinated, you are no longer required to observe any mandatory facility-based quarantine, meaning hindi na kayo kinakailangan mag-quarantine sa hotel, but you shall self-monitor na lang po for any signs or symptoms for 7 days within the first day being the date of arrival and shall be required to report to the local government unit of destination upon the manifestations of symptoms if any. So yan po ang great news sa ating mga fully vaccinated with or without any booster upon arrival in the Philippines. Now, para naman po sa mga minors, katulad ng nasabi po natin kanina, kung sakasakali po na 12 years old below who are not vaccinated for any reason, kinakailangan i-follow lang po kung ano yung vaccination status ng kanilang parents. So, kung fully vaccinated, diretso na rin po uwi sa bahay ang mga bata with or without any booster. Now, for Filipino nationals na 12 years old to 17, dahil po meron na silang vaccination status, ipa-follow nila yung vaccination status nila. Like what we discussed earlier, kung vaccinated, uwi na diretso sa bahay with the parents. Kung unvaccinated, kinakailangan pa mag-quarantine sa hotel at kailangan samahan ng magulang dahil mga minors lang ito. Ayan po mga kabayan. So, ready na ba kayong umuwi? So, looking forward that you definitely will have a great time sa Pilipinas. Tandaan lamang po ha mga kabayan, ang mga airlines po natin mahigpit dahil any fraudulent and unverified vaccine certification shall be the liability of the airline carrier. So, please dali nyo po yung proof of vaccination po ninyo. And then, existing guidelines for Section 9E, visa and crew members shall still be observed. Now, the foregoing is without any prejudice to the exercise of the mandate of the Bureau of Immigration on arrival and departure formalities. So, yan po mga kabayan ang ating mga arrival protocols, pre-departure, upon arrival in the airport, at syempre, kapag nakalabas na ng airport, uuwi ka ba ng hotel or uuwi ka sa iyong bahay? So, looking forward mga kabayan, nakatulong po ito sa inyo. So, ingat po kayo palagi at syempre sa inyong pag-uwi sa Pilipinas. May God bless you and have a pleasant flight. If you find this video helpful and informative, please click like, and I'm inviting you to subscribe to my channel. That's Jamey Iris TALK TV. Nang sa gayon ay ma-update natin kayo kapag meron po tayong mga bagong videos about travel, current events, at iba pa pong mga inspiring videos simply just for you. So muli po mga kabayan, kung meron pa po kayong further questions, i-drop nyo lang po yan sa comment boxes natin nang sa gayon ay matulungan ko po kayong sagutin. With that, muli po maraming salamat sa pagsama sa aking video sa araw na ito and looking forward that you'll have a great day and pleasant flight as well. With that, this is Jamey Iris simply saying thank you mga kabayan. Mamuhay po ang mga Filipinos, former Filipinos at syempre gayon din po ang bansang Pilipinas. See you everyone!